everyone. Welcome back to Granny's Place. I'm so glad you could join me for story time today. I have chosen a book today, The Story for Children. These are Bible stories. I love the artwork in this book, and some of the stories are familiar and some are not so familiar. Today I'm going to read to you a story called God's Messengers. The verse is, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord. He said, 'Who shall I send? Who will go for us?' I said, 'Here I am. Send me.'" Those were the words of the prophet Isaiah. The kings of Israel were evil. They no longer loved God or listened to him or his law. So God found a new way to talk to his people. He selected good men to be his prophets, his messengers. He spoke to them directly, and then they spoke his very words to the people of Israel. Over the next 208 years, God sent 9 prophets to speak to the people for him. This story is called Courageous Prophet. A wild-looking man from the desert stormed into the palace and announced to King Ahab, "The one true God of Israel has sent me to tell you that there will be no rain until he decides to send it. Years of drought and dryness are ahead." Elijah was a prophet of God. He was the voice of goodness and the voice of God. Evil King Ahab and his wife Jezebel were angry at Elijah. They wanted to kill him, but God kept him safe. "Go to the Kerith ravine on the other side of the Jordan River," said God to Elijah. "Stay there and be safe." Elijah trusted God. He ran to the brook in the ravine and he camped there for a long time. Every morning and evening, God sent ravens with bread and meat for Elijah, so he never went hungry. Elijah rested, waiting for God to tell him what to do. Finally, God told Elijah to speak again to Ahab. When Ahab saw Elijah coming, he said, "So it's you. You're the reason we have had no rain." "The drought was your fault, not mine," replied Elijah. "You turned away from God, and you worshiped the false god called Baal." Elijah challenged Ahab, "If you don't believe me, let's see who is the true God." Ahab eagerly accepted the challenge. He gathered all the people and all the priests of Baal at Mount Carmel. There Elijah explained the test. They would see whose God could start a fire on an altar. The Baal priests prepared an altar and prayed to Baal for fire. Nothing happened. The priests prayed all morning. No fire. They whooped and they hollered. They jumped up and down, begging Baal for fire. Nothing happened. Finally, Elijah took his turn. To make the challenge even harder, he drenched the altar with water. Then Elijah prayed, "O God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, show these people that you are the one true God." Immediately, the fire from heaven burned up the altar and the people fell on their knees, worshiping God. "Now God will send the rain," Elijah announced. soon the sky turned black with storm clouds. The wind blew, the rain poured down on the dry and thirsty ground. God answered Elijah's prayer, and all of the people knew who was the one true God. The end. Thanks for listening, and I hope to be back real soon and we'll have another story. Take care.